Hola, hola, amigas. Welcome back to another episode of Modern Latina in Midlife. My name is Sonia Flores. I'm a holistic life and business coach, podcast producer, intuitive energy healer, and your host. I'm so happy that you're here today. Today, I have on the podcast my dear friend and former student, Brenda Lenweaver. She's an energy healer, entrepreneur, wife, mother, and empty nester. She reached the empty nest part of her life feeling tired, lost, bored, and thought, now what? She began a journey of growth, healing, and renewal. She took classes, read books, and did many healing practices. And then she decided to make the most of her next chapter of life and to live life to the fullest. And this is what I love so much about her. This led her to her intuitive journey where she learned to meditate, she learned energy healing, she learned intuitive channeling. And she recently created a business when she went through my program, Start a Soulful Business. And now her work blends intuitive guidance, energy balancing, and grounded healing practices. She helps women to feel clear, supported, and grounded again. Midlife is the perfect time to discover your authentic self and what you truly want so that you can live life to the fullest. And that's what she does today. And I'm so proud to have her here because she went through my program and she came out with a completely, fully launched program. And now she's helping women live their best chapters in midlife. Sometimes midlife can be so jarring. It could start with whether you're going through perimenopause and menopausal symptoms, or maybe there's a divorce, or maybe you're sick of your job and want to make a career change. But it feels at this age like I can't do this. Like I need to retire from this job because this is what I've been told to do, and this is what our society has made us believe that we need to do is to like have this glass ceiling placed upon us that and having to constantly ask for permission to take a vacation and when can I rest and when can I take lunch and so on and so forth. And then there's empty nesting. That is a whole other story. And these are things that were not often talked about before, like maybe in our mother's generation, but we are talking about it now because there are ways to live a much happier life in this age of midlife. And Brenda is here to talk about her journey of what it was like for her to reach that empty nest stage of life, how she got through it, the things that she did to find clarity. They've all been a beautiful part of her journey that now she can use to help other women. And so this is what I love about sharing these stories. So I hope that you enjoy this conversation. Now let's welcome Brenda to the podcast. Hi, Brenda. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast today. Thank you for agreeing to join me.
Thanks for having me. So glad to be here.
Of course. So in your bio, you described the feeling of being tired, lost, and asking yourself, now what, in your transition into empty nesting. And I think that's a really
Mhm.
great place to start. I think so many women can relate to that. Can you take us back to that moment and share more about what that season was like for you in that season of transition?
Yes, I would love to. So it started when my kids were, I have two girls and they're a couple years apart. And the oldest started driving, and then they were both on the same sports team at the high school. And so they would go every night to practice, and the oldest could drive them. And so, as any parent does when the kids are gone, I would clean and do laundry. But then it was, like, at the beginning of the season, so, like, after, like, the 2nd week, I'm like, "I'm doing this every night," like, running out of things of like that to do, and that stinks to be doing just that. What else do I wanna do? And I couldn't think of anything, so and that really bothered me. I'm like, "What do you mean I can't think of anything? I used to do things, before I had kids, and, I'm sure there's things I want to do, but, what are they?" And so I had to think about it. And over the next few weeks and then a few months, like anytime I had a notes in my phone, and I would write down stuff, even basic stuff like get a massage or go to the movies by myself, or I love doing stuff by myself, and hadn't really had the chance to do it a lot. And I've evolved and done a lot of stuff now by myself, and just things like that. I started small, like I said, I could do that. That would be fun, and just kept a list. Go to the zoo because when my kids were little, we'd go to the zoo, like running around, and I'm like, oh, I never got to read. I love science and animals. I'm like, oh, I never got to read the displays, anything, just things like that.
Mhm.
So I kept a list. And then during COVID, and we were home a lot, it was about 6 months in, and there was a program that was offered, and it just was like about personal development slash business, I guess you could say. It just was at the right time, and just very pushed you out of your comfort zone. And I'm like, that's what I need.
Mm.
Like we would do stuff like go live on social media, that kind of
Mhm.
thing, which scared me to death.
Mhm.
And to do all these different things like that to push yourself outside the comfort zone. And we would have, there's like 500 people in this program, and then they would have breakout rooms. So you're having, a conversation with like 4 or 5 people from this group, and then you were also had like a weekly group that you met with of like 5 other people.
Wow.
And so it just really pushed you out of your usual, me anyways, out of my
Yeah.
usual life, and doing
Mhm.
revolving around the kids, and people you hang out with are other parents who are doing the same things your kids are doing and all that. So
So was this
um
like, was this a program specific for like empty nesters or women or just in
Oh,
general?
mostly women. It was almost all women. There was a couple men in it, but it was by Kathy Heller. At the time, it was called Made to Do This, and
Mm.
so I took that program, and it was just very life changing in that
Mhm.
I tried all these different things
Mhm.
that I never would have considered doing. And
Mhm.
now I look back, and that was a little over 5 years ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was
Mhm.
so basic to go live on Facebook. But it really was, at the time I was like, wow, it's like public speaking. And I was not accustomed to that at all. So yeah, so it was
That's
just a
cool.
great option. And I love the program. And I've tried other programs too. And that's where I met our mutual friend, Jessica Rachel. And
Oh, okay.
we took that
Oh,
together. So I didn't really
cool.
know her as I mean, meet a lot of people, but it's a 500 people, so it was a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
I had heard of her, and then I heard more of her towards the end of it, and then I connected and just watched her, and then she created the program that she
Wow.
does
Mhm.
on your
Intuitive
intuition.
activation, which I've talked a
Yes.
lot about on this podcast.
Yes, and so I took that program, and it was just and that was life-changing as well, and beautiful, and, as soon as I heard what she did, I was like, "Oh, that's my next step. That's what I need
Mhm.
to do." And
Mhm.
so I did that and got into the intuitive side of it. So basically, it was a lot of personal growth in
Mhm.
the empty nest,
Mhm.
and even that program Made to Do This taught us to like how to do a podcast. And so I do have a podcast out there that I had and on the empty nest. And
Oh,
it
very
was called
cool.
Next Chapter Empty Nest. And
Oh, I
um,
don't think I knew
uh,
that.
no,
No.
I was I'm thinking about like starting it back up or something similar and going off of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, fun.
And, but at the time when you're going through it and the first one leaves, and like it was so hard sometimes to talk about it as you're going through it. And it was just hard to put it out there. Oh, my kid left last week for college. And then it's
Mhm.
like, you just want to sob in your bed and
Yeah.
not get out,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And so, yeah, it was quite difficult, the emptiness in some ways, but I'm thankful for those programs because I think they pushed me to learn more. And I realized, I'm a lifelong learner. I want to keep learning and doing things and
Mhm.
growing. So it was very beneficial for me because I just remember a lot of times growing up, it was like my grandparents, whatever, you have dinner, you go watch a couple shows together, and go to
Mhm.
bed, and that was it. And I was like, I can't do that
Yeah.
now at this
Yep.
age. At the time, my grandparents were older, but than I am now. But still, I'm like, okay, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
I need to
Yep.
keep doing stuff. So I
Yeah.
was very big on continuing to learn and grow myself. I could sit home and cry about it every night, or I could go do something about it
Yeah. And I
for
think that's
myself.
what we're supposed to do. I think that's,
Yeah.
intentionally done that way for us so that, okay, like we can then like focus on ourselves and our skills and our gifts and go do something with them. I mean, we have several decades ahead of us still,
Yeah.
and so why are we going to
Absolutely.
sit around and be sad? And my kids are nowhere near being parents, which means I'm not, going to be a grandparent anytime soon. So, and even if I was going to be a grandparent, I don't want to just be grandma. I
Right.
still want my own
Right.
identity. And that's what's
Yes.
so beautiful about this period of time. I feel that it could be a really fun stage to kind of
Yes.
get to know ourselves again and rediscover ourselves and the things that we once liked. Like you said, you forgot what you liked, right? You're like, I used to do
Hmm.
things. What was
Right.
it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So at some point you got into meditation and into energy healing as well. What led you to that? What point of the story where did like that come in?
So I've always been interested in it and fascinated by it. And when Jessica talked about it, and she would offer at the time, she was from the Made to Do This, and they told us these different
Mhm.
things to do. And she would offer some free sessions, and just to tell you about what she was doing.
Mhm.
And so I would attend some of those, and she would help us like with meditation and things. And I really loved every minute of it. And I had always tried to meditate. I remember, when I was in my 20s and I'd
Mhm.
watch back when Oprah was on and, all the celebrities that she'd interviewed with. And I'm like, oh, I meditate for an hour every single day. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And I would like sit there and say, okay, I'm going to meditate for an hour today. And I'd sit there with my eyes closed, ready, breathing. And I'm like, check and look, and it's like, okay, it's been like a minute. It's been a minute, and then like, okay, maybe I'll do it for 30 minutes, and then 15 minutes. Okay, maybe 5 minutes. And I just couldn't do it. But then
Mhm.
the way Jessica did it, and it was more of a guided meditation, and she
Mhm.
talked you through it,
Yes.
and it was like a world of difference.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so then I took her program and just loved every minute of it, and it's been life changing.
Yes.
Because at the
And
time,
for those that are listening and who don't know who Jessica Rachel is, Jessica Rachel is, well, I call her my mentor, my spiritual mentor. And she taught me how to learn to trust myself when I was channeling. And that's basically, you took the same program, right?
yes,
With her.
yes,
So she teaches us how to connect with our spirit guides and how to channel and ask them questions and how to do it for other people as well. So yes, her program was really powerful in helping us get connected to ourselves and our guides and do all the channeling. So we're going deep here, people.
yes,
Yes. When we say
absolutely.
transformative, we really mean like going into the other world, into the other
Yes,
dimensions. Hmm.
yes, and absolutely, because at the time, I was working a full-time corporate job,
Hmm.
and when I first started doing this with her, and I forget how long it was, but I loved doing it, and I would do it, and I was so stressed. I mean, I would go to work, and I would swear I was gripping my steering wheel because I was just stressed about going to work,
Mm.
and so I started meditating in the morning, doing stretching, listening to manifestations, and I mean, doing all the things. And I'm like, I am doing this just to get through my work day. I mean, this
Hmm.
sucks. It's horrible
Hmm.
that I'm doing this. And as I'm holding the steering wheel at one time, I'm like, this job is going to kill me. I feel like this job is going to kill me. I'm just so stressed about it and it's not worth it. And, I started talking with my husband and making a plan. And when my youngest, which was kind of the weirdest time, like my youngest went off to college in August. I was like, okay, now I'm going to quit my job on my birthday, will be my last day, October 2nd. And I'm going to, because I know it'd be just sign some papers and leave and have the
Yeah.
day to myself kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
so that's what I did. And that was my last day about
Wow.
almost
Wow.
3 years ago this October.
Wow.
And So it was transformative. It did
Mhm.
lead me to that and
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
trust myself,
Which
because it's hard. You're taught
yeah,
to,
yes.
um, you go to school and you graduate and you go to college and get a good job and you stay there forever. And I was there
Yeah.
26 years, and,
Yeah. And we
you're
think
supposed to
and think
retire
and we
from
think
there. And
yeah, we think we're winning when we're doing that, right? When we're
yeah.
following that plan that somebody created, God knows who, somebody created
Hmm.
this, and we think that that's what we're supposed to do because that's what everybody tells you to do and that's the way it's always been done. And you are not the first woman who I hear say, this job's going to kill me. Like literally, those
Hmm.
words came out of one of my friends' mouth last summer. And she's like, this job's going to kill me. This job is killing me. And I was like, oh
Hmm.
my God, like this isn't, what's the purpose? What's the purpose to go into these jobs and these works where we're completely burnt out. We don't like it. We don't enjoy it. And we feel like we have to be tied to them. And
Hmm.
so I'm so glad that you made that leap for yourself and that you went
Yes.
through all that beautiful development. Because going through any kind of personal development, regardless of what it is, if it's Kathy Heller's, Jessica Rachel's, like any type of
Hmm.
coaching, any kind of therapy, any kind of meditation, all of that leads to you becoming more aware and more conscious of yourself and your patterns and to really like question and answer yourself because many times we can ask, is this it? Now what do I do now? The
Hmm.
kids are gone. What about me? And I think a lot of women don't take the time to really answer those and to really take steps towards that, and you did that, and you did that.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank
Yes,
you for
so
putting it
I
like
commend
that.
you. Like I love that for you that you did that
Thank
for
you.
yourself. You honored yourself, and and that's what these conversations for me are for, is to like encourage women to hear stories, hear themselves in them. So let me ask you this, if you don't mind, and if you do, we
Mhm.
can cut this off. Would you mind sharing how old you are and how old you were when you made that decision?
So I am 54 years old, and I think it was like about 3 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there you have it, women. In your
Yes,
50s, you can make a major change and a major pivot and change things
absolutely.
up. So
Yes,
don't be afraid to do it. There is a way out. So
absolutely.
I love
And
that.
it was just and I was so scared to do it. I had thought
Yeah.
about it for a few years. It's
Yeah.
scary,
It
and
is scary.
I've recently thought back about it, and I'm like, I think because people do tell you,
Yeah.
go to college, you get married, you have kids, like it's supposed to be this way, but nobody tells you like after the kids and the empty nest,
Yeah.
and people don't
Yeah.
talk about that part
Nope.
back
Nope.
then and say what you're supposed to do, and am I really supposed to suffer through this job? Which I mean, I loved the job when I first started. I was young, and it was a fabulous job. I loved it, but it had changed over the years, and
Sure.
things change and
And people
whatnot.
change. And
Yes,
then we
yes,
change, when
yes.
we're no longer taking care of everybody else, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Then we have time to think about ourselves. Like you said, you ran out of things to clean in 2 weeks. So then it's
Right.
like, okay, now what? It's like,
Right.
what am I going to do now for the next 30 years? So,
Exactly.
so it's
Exactly.
perfect timing to reevaluate that.
Yes.
So at what point did this shift in your personal healing, your personal development start to turn into, I think I want to help women do something? Like share with me, because I know what you do now. So share with
Yes.
me what that transition, what that looked like for you.
So first of all, when I quit my job, I didn't have a plan yet,
Mhm.
and I was without a job for about 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and I was like home, just trying to recover, I guess you could say. And
Mhm.
then it was like getting boring, and I'm like, nobody's home. And before o'clock, I'm like, my husband's gonna be home soon. I should probably take a shower today. Like, okay. And then I was like, I need some structure in my life. My sister-in-law had retired from her job, and she became a teaching assistant at an elementary school. And she's like, hey, why don't you sub and try this? You can at least just try it. So I did. And I loved it. And it's just so fun. And so I've been doing it ever since. And
Cool.
I was hired on full time but it feels part time to me compared to the
Right.
hours that I worked. I leave
Mm-hmm.
on time instead of staying
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours more,
Right. Yeah.
late and going in early and all that. It's like set times and I actually get my breaks,
Mm-hmm.
get my lunch break
Mm-hmm.
so and then I'm with my class is second grade. So I'm with
Mm-hmm.
these second graders. And honest to God, they're the best medicine for an empty nest
Mm.
because I don't mind coming home to a quiet house
Yes.
because
Oh,
I've been with
yes.
kids all day.
Yes.
But if we
Love
get a
it.
lot of time off, summers off, I do have that. So that was very uplifting and I just felt productive and had more structure and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I was like, all right, I want to make this into a business. And I wasn't sure how to do that. And I didn't know how to find that. So then I channeled a lot with Jessica. She had our group channeling
Mm-hmm.
and met you, and you had your business program. And it's funny because I think I told you this like earlier that year, like maybe 6 months before you had offered it. And I kind of looked at it, I was like, yeah, I don't think that's for me. And then later on, months later, I heard one of your podcasts and it talked about it. And it was just, I was like, oh, this sounds really fascinating. Like it's so, I mean, I think things happen at the right
Yes.
time when
Yeah.
they're meant to happen. And
I 100% agree. Mm-hmm.
it was just the right time for me to be able
Mm-hmm.
to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
And
So let's go back a little bit. When did you start thinking I want to create a business, and what did you think that business was going to be? Like how far back did that little like dream start for you?
so probably back when I was working with Jessica, like during the
Mm,
program, the
mm-hmm.
intuition activation program.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was scared too,
Mm-hmm.
fear, the
Mm-hmm.
whole, told my whole life, oh, you go, you get a good job with benefits. And so you have,
Yeah. So channeling
insurance
channeling
and
spirit guides wasn't quite
no,
in line with
nobody,
that story we've been told all
right,
these years.
exactly. So there was that. And I was doing my other job and I was afraid to leave because I,
Mm-hmm.
had made a good income and all that and had the
Mm-hmm.
health benefits and everything. And I had worked up for 5 weeks of vacation
Mm-hmm.
after 26 years. And now I'm like, I should have quit 5 years before. And now I get like 12 weeks a year and
Right.
science teaching assistant. And I work less hours per day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So probably
Okay.
4.5 years ago, but it was a long time that I wanted to, and I just didn't know how to get there,
Mm-hmm.
and felt like it was I guess fear was a block for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Mm-hmm.
still is. I think
Mm-hmm.
those things are put
Yeah.
in you to,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Our nervous system is designed to like keep us safe. It
mhm,
likes the familiar, even if the familiar is not good for us, doesn't benefit us, is not a great situation, or is just the same. It just likes to stay comfortable. That's
mhm,
what it's there to do, is to keep us comfortable. So it's always trying to push down whatever thing we're going to do is different, that it doesn't recognize, because then it gets elevated. It's like, oh no, let's not do that, that's not safe. And it's just
mhm,
these stories that were just running in our background that aren't even true. But just
yes,
like you left your job, and then you had way better hours, way more vacation, but it's hard to see that when
oh,
you're
absolutely,
so in it. You don't see a
yes,
way out. And I've talked to other women also that's like, oh, I can't leave. I can't leave. I have to
mhm,
retire from here. I can't. And they're like working with the government, or they're teachers, or whatever. They're like, oh, I can never leave. I can never leave. Like I
mhm,
have to stay here so that I can retire and collect blah 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 blah. It's like, wow, okay, you do you.
yeah,
As long as you can. And
yeah,
one of my friends was a teacher, and she was just like, she's one of the ones that's just like, my job's killing me. And so it's like, then what's going to happen by the time you retire? you know,
Right.
where is your health going to be? Like, is it going to have mattered? Are you going to enjoy retirement at that point?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. So it's hard to see what's on the other side when you're so in it. And I get
Hmm.
it. I get it. It's a scary step. You know, your nervous system tells you it's scary, you know?
Yes, absolutely. But it ended up being the best thing. And, I could concentrate more on the intuitive side of things and
Mhm.
have more time for that. And a
Mhm.
lot of it was for myself initially. I mean, I'd always thought about doing it, but I guess initially it was a lot of self help with it.
Mhm. Yes.
I feel like it's like I haven't needed therapy because I've been able to do this.
Yes.
And
Oh my
like
God, me
meditation
too.
has been a
Yes.
gift.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's
Yes.
amazing. So you saw my promotion for start a soulful business, and that's exactly what I teach women to do is from a very different angle of like not doing it like very super corporate and bro marketing like it's more intuitive, it's more the divine feminine, and we channel and we do human design and astrology and all that stuff to get like really clear on what our business is, and then we go and like we create that. So you saw that I was enrolling and that my program was open. So what made you say yes? Like the second time you heard about it, you're like, "Oh, wait a minute, this actually sounds good." What made you say yes then?
I'm trying to think back, just the intuitiveness of it. I wanted that incorporated in it. You would understand because I knew you did
Mhm.
this type of work as well.
Right.
So I definitely wanted it led
Mhm.
intuitively
Mhm.
and by somebody who knew where that was coming from. Like I didn't want it to be just a business
Right.
course. I didn't
Right.
want it to just be the accounting part and doing the books and da da da.
Yeah.
I needed it to be for me that whole
Yeah.
package with the intuitive side as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And that's what I love about it personally. That's why I created it. Well, my business, my spirit guides told me to. Let's be honest, first of all.
Yes.
And then once I started building it, then I built what I would have wanted. You know, when I was first starting off, was help building a business, but a soulful business. You know, something that was more spiritually led, more heart led, something that was more. At the time I was working as a virtual assistant when I first started, and I very quickly niched down or figured out that the people that I loved working with were coaches, were healers, were intuitives, were people in this realm. And I thought, oh, I
Mhm.
don't have those gifts, but if I support them in their business, then they can help more people because I'm not that person. I can't do what they do. Well, you little did I know everything it turned around and developed, and I started doing energy healing and intuitive guidance, and I became a coach, and then all these things incorporated, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, like so many people and women have gifts and skills that are very ethereal, that are soulful, that
Mhm.
are in this realm, and I don't see out there very much of like developing a business or even coaching for businesses in this kind of area, in this, I guess
Yeah,
you could call
right.
it wellness area or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's what I wanted to create, and so I'm so glad that called to you because that's exactly who like that program is for. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
awesome. I love that.
And also, I remember when you were offering it and our mutual friend Jessica Rachel also, she was like, "Oh, I wish this had been available when I started my business."
Yeah.
And having done the first program with her and knowing what all the stuff we did, I knew what she meant. Like it's a lot to
Yeah.
trial and error when you're doing things
Y-
on your own because we had some help during the course, but then afterwards, she was able to grow it and she has a very successful business, but it was a lot of trial and error. And yeah, she said, I wish this had been around. So that really spoke to me too when she said that.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you, because
Hmm.
that is the way I see this program is a shortcut. Like this
Hmm.
is your shortcut to like not having to make all the mistakes and have to throw spaghetti at the wall to like figure out like how to do it and waste hours upon hours Googling what to do and who to listen to. And like, it breaks it down in the way that my brain works in simple ways to start in small little steps. And then once you lay that foundation for that, you can grow it. But it took me a lot of years. Same. It took me a lot of years to kind of figure it all out and piece it all together and put all the pieces of the puzzle together. I'm like, this program is a shortcut to that. Like, you can save years and thousands of dollars just like following this roadmap. And then,
Mhm.
and then having support, having somebody to like walk you through that, ask questions and, get help, and building it with other people like you did with Shannon in the group. So that's
Yes,
cool. So
yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. What did you like the most about the program, and what was your biggest growth, do you think?
What did I like? I liked that it was small, manageable
Intimate.
steps.
Oh, okay, good.
Each Oh, yes, yes, it
The
was very
modules.
intimate too.
It
I
was
do like
intimate.
that. It was
Mm-hmm.
and the modules, yes, very easy to do steps each
Yeah.
week.
Okay.
And
Good.
at one point, Shannon, who I took it with, who also took it at the same time, we were talking, and there was a certain point, maybe 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that, and she was like, "I think we need to tell her this, and we need to slow down a bit. This is, like, a lot." And then the next week was,
An
like, a catch-up
integration
week.
week.
Yes,
I
integration. It was
call
like,
it integration
"Oh,
week
yes,
because
like."
basically
Yes.
rest, sleep, or catch up, whatever you
And
need.
it was, like, perfect timing. It was so funny that,
That's so
we
cute.
were both, like, a little overwhelmed, and then it was like, "Oh, wait, we have time to still do it. We didn't have to kill ourselves to
Mm-hmm.
get it done. There's time." So,
Yeah.
and I think I'm most proud of my website. I'm like, "I did a website?" Like, I
Yes.
was just
How
so amazed
amazing. How
at that.
amazing that you
I'm
did
not
that.
a huge thank you, a huge tech person, but, I
Yeah.
know my way around a few things here and there, but
Mhm.
I learned, and I was
Yeah.
yeah, I could pay somebody to do it and all that, but I'm like, "I should know how to do this. If this is my website, I wanna know the ins and outs of it. If I wanna
Yeah.
change something, I wanna be able to do it
Yeah.
right then and there, not
Yeah.
see when somebody else could do it,
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I even sometimes I'll just go check on it. Yep, it's
Yeah.
still there. I can't believe it's still
That is so awesome. I love that.
there.
So tell us what you do, how you help women. What are the services that you offer? I want people to know the beautiful work that you do.
Ah, thank you. Yes, I do energy healing. So I have a lot of testimonials on my site as well that talks about some of the things I do. I've helped women set boundaries to what else? Just to find like what's next for them. What and it's just like kind of like baby steps because sometimes that's just
Mhm.
what you need for,
Mhm.
some people
Mhm.
and just to get back in touch with themselves and to really get to the core and to their intuition
Mhm.
and what do you really want and to get to a place where you're relaxed enough to come out with that to yourself of what
Yeah.
you really want next
Mhm.
and and
Hear
give
your
them
inner voice.
messages
Yeah. Okay. Mhm.
from spirit guides and stuff too. I call
Mhm.
them their spirit guides and their spirit team and give them messages from them as well
Mhm.
and it just had a beautiful one with someone who said they were stressed and their brain, mind was all over the place. And so they asked for a session. So we did it. And afterwards, she was just more relaxed. And her guide said, "You're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. You're
Mhm.
doing fine.
Mhm.
Basically, stop overthinking it. And,
Mhm.
you'll be fine." And it was just very beautiful. And I am so passionate. Like it just feels so good to do that for somebody else
Mhm.
and just to
Mhm.
show them the next steps, the next way
Mhm.
as to where they're going.
Mhm.
So,
I love
yeah.
that. Yeah, and you are such a powerful healer. You have such a just like such a soft but it's your healing, and what you do is so powerful but in such a gentle way. And your meditations are just so gentle and just so heartwarming, and you feel held. when you do your
Mhm.
meditation. So it's really,
Thank
really
you.
beautiful work. And it's powerful. It's this big life-changing thing, but it really is the power of what you do with your energy healing can really shift the trajectory of somebody's life.
Uh-huh.
Releasing stress and making them feel at peace and at ease with their trajectory and gaining clarity. That's huge. Sometimes we can't do that on our own. And we need
Right. Yes.
somebody's help. So
Thank you.
I love
Thank you.
that.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that sending healing energy to people, and it's just such a yeah, it is it feels amazing to me. I feel it too as I'm
Mm-hmm.
giving it to other
Mm-hmm.
people, and it just feels
Yeah.
amazing,
Mm-hmm.
it and yeah, and it is life changing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a client who, like the one with the boundaries, she was a VA too, and she had to cut ties with someone who was taking advantage. And, she's put up boundaries, and it just uplifted her, it just lightened her load to be able to do that. And for her guides to say, yes, that's what you need to do, and it's going to be
It'll be
okay. And
fine.
it
It'll be
was.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Just
Yes.
kind of like what you went through, right? Like you
Hmm.
almost needed to go through that personal development, whatever you went, the program to be able to be like, okay, this job's killing me. I'm going to quit. Everything's going to be fine. But you
Hmm.
were supported in that through what you did. And so
Hmm.
you're doing the same for other people. It's like you're helping them.
Yes.
And there's nothing better than getting the messages directly from your own guides because those are your
Oh,
guides, and
yes.
they're telling you it's going to be fine. It just gives you this level of, okay, I can do this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it is very powerful. And, somebody else I know quit a job and went to something else just
Mm-hmm.
because it just wasn't right. But sometimes they just need that, like, is this the right thing to do?
Mm-hmm.
And your guides will tell you
Mm-hmm.
yes or no if it's the
Mm-hmm.
right thing for you at
Mm-hmm.
this time. And now that person is excelling at what she does. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just very beautiful
Mm-hmm.
to see, like so much
Yes.
happier,
Yeah.
more relaxed, content, and just, yeah, like there's a path for us. Like we don't have
Yes.
to stay on the path that we
Yeah.
were on, that we were told to
Yeah.
go on and to stay on.
Mm-hmm.
And we can
Yeah.
find it. And it's seems difficult to quit your job and things, but oh man, like I said, I should have done 5 years earlier than I think these other people think it
Mm-hmm.
too sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just about quitting jobs, but just what else? Like, what are you
Mm-hmm.
passionate about with the empty nest? People don't know what to do next. Well,
What
ask your
transition,
guides.
what
Yeah.
transition empty nesting is a transition in and of itself, but like, yeah,
Mhm.
what else could you do? Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe you want to
Yeah.
do philanthropy work. Maybe, I don't know, you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to travel by
Mhm.
yourself
Yeah. Yeah.
or with somebody or make new friends.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard making new friends at this age. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And you said something about like sometimes we're walking that path and we feel like we have to stay on it. In the episode right before this one, it's about finding your life path and purpose. And I talked about how sometimes when you're so stressed out and you feel like your job is killing you and you're completely overwhelmed and you're constantly getting sick, that's your guides getting in the way and going like, enough. Let's take her
Mhm.
down because she's not getting the message that this isn't where she needs to be anymore.
Yes.
That's where you needed to be. And now it's time to like venture off into something else. And it's our guides telling us constantly,
Absolutely.
like, course correct, change the course. So are you going to stay there and like let this job kill you? Or are you going to actually trust in yourself and have faith in your guides that they're going to lead you in the right direction? So,
Mhm. Absolutely.
and so
And
you're the vessel to help them
yes.
like
Yes.
get those that message and that clarity and to not feel so alone, to
Yes.
feel supported in that.
Yes.
I
And
love that.
even I have needed help,
Yeah.
just because sometimes you're like, "Am I just reading this into what I want it to be?" But if I go to, moved on our channeling group or
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one with someone else,
Mm-hmm.
that channels also, then sometimes I need clarity from somebody else. Like, what's the message you're getting? Because,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Yes.
it's just what I want to hear. But
Yeah.
is it real or is it what I want to hear? So, when
Yeah.
it's yourself, you do that. So, yeah, we
Yeah.
also
Yeah. Yeah, we
ask
get
for
in our
help from
heads
others
about
as
it,
well.
it's like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we wanna hear something specific, and so sometimes yeah, I get it. So Brenda and I channel together in a group with some other women,
Mhm.
about once a week, and we just channel together, and we ask questions for each other and things that we need help with. I go in with like my issues and like I ask questions, and then they channel for me. They connect with my spirit guides and then get the answers for me. So that we do that for each other, because sometimes it's hard to like trust the messages from your own guides. So it's
Mhm.
nice to have a buddy to like bounce that off of.
Yes. Yes.
And when we get messages for other people, it's like clear.
Yes,
Yes, girl, you're
absolutely.
supposed to do that.
Yes.
You're supposed to quit the job. And then if I tell that to myself, I'm like, oh,
Exactly.
yeah,
So, yes.
awesome. I love that. Well, let's see. I'm gonna have to edit this little piece out. How do you feel now that you're on this journey compared to how you did, let's say, 5 years ago?
Totally relieved and just so I feel so free compared
Mhm,
to
mhm,
because I just feel more relaxed. I used to go to a massage therapist towards the end of my corporate job, like once a month I would go.
mhm,
And every time, no matter who I saw, they'd be like, "Oh, these are the tightest muscles I've ever seen in the back," And now I'm
mhm,
relaxed all the time. And
mhm, mhm,
sometimes, my shoulders have dropped
mhm,
significantly. I used to be
mhm.
tight all the time. And I just like sometimes I'm like, if I get any more relaxed, do my shoulders go any further down? It just feels awkward because it's, especially at first because I wasn't used to being so relaxed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just much more relaxed and just things don't bother me as much anymore. Somebody
Mhm,
cuts me off in traffic. Oh, whatever.
mhm,
I don't care. It's
mhm.
not,
They
like
must be
little
going to
things like
work at
that.
corporate.
Right? Exactly. I'm
You
like,
must have a
they need
corporate
to
job.
meditate. Is what
You're running late.
they need to meditate. It's not JJ.
It's
But
not changing.
just everything is better because
Mhm,
I
mhm,
am more in touch with myself now.
mhm,
Like I feel like doing channeling it and even doing with other people, like you just become more your authentic self when you dig deep
mhm,
and you go within, you find your authentic self. And instead of, your boss saying you have to act this way and be this way and do this and that, and your family, oh, you're supposed to follow the rules to go, the
Yeah.
line, and you're doing what everybody else wants. It's like, oh, I have a voice here. And,
Mhm,
I know where it is now and I know what it is and what I want to do
mhm,
and say. And I'm so
mhm,
much more relaxed. And we're thinking about doing things that we've never considered before. My husband and I are talking about in a year selling our house and moving into an apartment downtown in the city we live in. It's not a big city, but I would have never considered living downtown
mhm,
anywhere ever. And we went and looked at the apartments and like, oh yeah, this because I said, let's just go look and see if we would even consider this. And we did. And I'm like, oh, these are really nicer than I imagined and just less to take care of. And focusing on us and what we wanna do and travel more and, not be mowing a lawn and taking care of a pool that nobody really is home to use anymore and things like that. So, just everything has, changed, and I owe it to meditation and channeling and getting in touch with myself and my spirit guides. Like, I
mhm.
just feel like that has been, yeah, I always wonder, like, where would I be? And I run into people, see people once in a while that I used to work with, and things haven't changed much there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a relief that I'm not there. Like, I can't imagine if I had stayed.
Yeah.
And like, I just feel, I just am more relaxed and more myself.
Yeah. I love that. And what a beautiful example that is for your daughters to be able to
Oh,
show
thank you.
them that you don't have to. stay tied to anything. You have a voice. You can create your own destiny and pivot. And what a, not just an example, but the ripple effect that has when you are happier and when you're more relaxed and you're more present for your daughters, for your husband, for your friends and family.
Mhm.
And then even the women that you have helped who have changed courses, left their jobs, and are doing other things. Like, what a ripple effect that has in their lives and the communities, and how, like, what a much better way for us to live. Like, little by little, if
Oh,
we each
yes.
can be more relaxed and more at peace and help each other and be present and more conscious instead of all uptight and stressed out and getting
Mhm.
sick, like that's what the way I think of it. It's like each person you touch helps another person and helps another person, and same with me.
Yes.
And it's I can help somebody and they can help somebody else. It's like this ripple effect of like just of healing and like just dispersing the light and the healing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I
Thank you.
love
Yes, it's
that.
very beautiful.
I love that
And
we're on this journey together of,
me too.
spreading the light. Brenda, I would like to ask for the women that are listening right now who feels that pull or some sort of feeling of doing something different, like she knows there's more for her. What would you say to her?
To go find it. Go find what it is that you want because it is there waiting for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can do it. You can do it. You deserve it. I
You
think we
deserve.
forget we deserve it too. We do all these things for our families and
Hmm.
kids and even, my dog, well, I'd say, I do more for her. She gets her hair cut more than me. But you know what? You deserve it too. You deserve to be well taken care of as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any final things you want to share? Actually, well, first of all, where can people find you so they can book a session with you?
Well, on my website that we talked about, brendalenweaver.com, and there's you can sign up for a session on there, and it's
And you're on Instagram.
yes, at Next Chapter Brenda Len,
Hmm.
and I also have a group in Facebook called the
Oh,
same thing, Next
oh,
Chapter
cool.
Brenda Len,
And I will link all
and
of that in the show notes so that they can
thank
go find you
you.
very easily. So, any final thoughts or anything final you would like to share that is in your heart to share?
You've done so much for all of us. So I mean, for everyone else, that it's okay to take time for yourself, and you have give yourself permission to take care of you in all ways, not just, I mean, also going to the doctor and all that, take care of yourself, but also just enjoying life and
Yeah.
doing the things that you love to do. And if you don't know, try all the
Start
different
to, yeah.
things that you can think of. Just try
Yes.
it and
Mm.
see
I
what
love
works
that.
and what
Just start
you
trying
like.
things. Just start checking things
Yes.
off like the list. Let me try that. I didn't like that. Let me try that. I
Yes.
don't like that. And then, oh, I like that. Let me go see, let's see some more of
Absolutely.
that, and one
Yes.
thing leads to the next. I love that. Make a list.
Absolutely.
Make a list of a bunch of things to try and then just go.
Yes, absolutely.
So cool. Thank you so much, Brenda. It's so lovely connecting
Uh,
with you. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Of
Oh,
course.
it's my
You're welcome.
pleasure.
I hope you found something that you can relate to in this conversation about how you don't have to stay where you're at if you're not feeling fulfilled or happy or at peace. There are other ways of living life, and Brenda did it so beautifully. That doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it's not done without fear, but you got to dig in deeper and get through it. And you can do it with support. You don't have to do it alone. Now, if you are looking to find what is your next thing, if you want to create a business, start a side gig, an additional stream of income, or potentially replace your 9 to 5 and make a full time salary by creating a business, and I invite you to explore my Start a Soulful Business group coaching experience. This is a 90-day group coaching experience to build a heart centered business aligned with your purpose. So, if you are a woman who is soulful, who is spiritual, who is interested in channeling, is interested in plant medicine, is interested in coaching, in offering services to help other women, maybe it's tarot card reading, maybe it's channeling, maybe it's being a yoga instructor and offering private one-on-one sessions. Maybe it's becoming a retreat facilitator. I already have 2 people who have gone through this program who wanted to be retreat facilitators and have gone on to create beautiful things. One of them is having her inaugural retreat this weekend, and Brenda and I will both be there to experience that. And you better believe I'm going to be posting pictures and videos of this event. Um, and any type of soulful type of business, heart-led type of business, something that feels completely different from bro marketing, corporate like, this is the place to build it and start a soulful business. In this program, we work with the divine feminine, and that's what I love about this. The first half of the program, it's all about tapping into yourself, your inner child, into your intuitiveness. We call in your spirit guides. We work with your business spirit guides to gain clarity on what your business is going to be. We also bring in my friend Monica Lorraine, who will be on the podcast very soon, to do a one-on-one human design and astrology birth chart reading with you and you only. So this is specific to you to gain clarity and get real specific about what business you're here to build in this lifetime and who your client is that you are here to serve, because that is written in the charts. It is written in the stars for you, for what you came here to do. And I will tell you something, what's interesting when she does that, you're not discovering anything new. It really is just confirmation of what's already inside of you. So it really just becomes this big permission slip of follow your heart. So we teach you how to get into your own self, to get the answers from within of what this business is going to be, but you'll have our support to know that you are on the right path. And then we help you create your offers. We help you create your messaging. And this is all very intuitive led. And once we have all those pieces in place, then we bring in that masculine energy to build the foundations and the processes to make it all come to life. So it's a beautiful journey, very much heart-led, very much intuitive and spiritually led. This is going to be way different, completely different than any of the bro marketing programs that are out there, the entrepreneurial type programs that are, that tell you that there's only one way to do things. And this is a very gentle, step-by-step guided program. Brenda talked about how the modules are bite-sized. They're little, they're 10, 15 minutes at a time so that you can learn something and apply it. There's a few models that drop every week. And then we have live coaching in group with the other women in this program. And this is a very intimate program, no more than 10 women at a time, period, so that we can have very intimate conversations and you can have intimate attention from me. And so that you can get the attention and have your questions answered. We coach not only on asking questions about the program, but I coach you through your limiting beliefs, through your fears, through the fears of visibility, through the fears of, oh my gosh, who am I to do this? The imposter syndrome, the am I good enough? The I don't know enough. Yes, you do. At this age, you already have the gifts and the skills that you are supposed to be using to help others in this world, and the world needs you. So if you're looking for a container, a space where you're going to be held and supported and honored for your gifts that you possess already within you, this is the place to be. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me. I invite you to book a consultation with me at bluechakrastudio.com/call. Let's talk about what you're dreaming of, where you want to be, and how we can bridge that. And if this is the right program for you at this time or not. No obligations, no strings attached. I really am just here to help women live their true life path and purpose, to really live life to the fullest, to really live life in their full authenticity. And if I can help you determine what that next step is for you, whether it's this program or not, I would love to help you gain that clarity. Thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in learning more about the program, visit bluechakrastudio.com/soul-business. It will be linked in the show notes as well as the call, the link to book your call with me. And yeah, make it a great one. Hasta la próxima, amigas.